What's up, bud?
What up, bud? What's going on?
What's shaking?
Nothing. You?
Nothing.
Same old shit.
Yeah.
Once again.
Except for something different.
Uh-oh.
We have a guest on.
We do?
Natalee. Say hello.
Hello.
I know.
So soft.
A female
Hello.
guest.
A female. Yeah, this is actually our first. Oh, no, we had Jess on.
Jess was
Yeah.
on.
Yeah. So, but it's still super rare.
Yeah, very rare.
Yeah.
So
Natalee,
welcome. Thank you for joining us.
how's it
Thanks for
going?
having me. It's going really well. I'm really
Good.
happy to be here.
Yeah.
We're excited to have you here.
Exciting.
Yeah.
Most
You,
definitely.
you excited? Nervous?
Yes and yes.
Nothing to be nervous about.
So the best part about this episode, guys, is that we have finally delivered
Yeah.
that we are going to taste the breast milk today.
We're trying breast milk.
All thanks to Nat.
You're welcome.
So
Yeah,
thank
we
you.
appreciate that.
Yeah.
It was super funny because when the pizza was talking to Natalie just a minute ago and was like, "You ready for this? You pumped?" And I was
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Yeah, you pumped.
Yeah.
Pumped us up some samples. Fucking A right.
Got him. All right. Well, I mean, before we get things started,
Yeah.
is there anything that you want to throw in here before we? 'Cause I got a text, but what do you got?
Nothing really. I was out with Tommy yesterday actually, and we stopped up at O'Donnell's and we saw Dan.
This tomboy? Okay.
And yeah, so shout out to Brittany, who's I think you're friends with Brittany as well.
Yep. I was going to give the same shout out. I
She
ran
is-
into her over the like last week.
Yeah, she was our first confirmed sighting of the billboard.
Ah.
She went in person to go check it out.
Hell yeah.
So shout out to Brittany. Appreciate
Shout out
you
Britt
doing that for
and
us.
Casey.
And then I was just telling Tomboy a minute ago, it just randomly in conversation, Jamie Stanton came up. Used to bartend at the
No, I remember.
Michelin,
Yeah, yeah.
and I haven't talked to him in years.
Uh-huh.
And then yesterday I get a text message this morning I get a text message out of nowhere. And I don't even know what number. It's just from a random, no history. And it just says, "Hey, man, just want to say you and Tony are killing it on the podcast. Love pizza bagels.
Oh, he's
Hope
listening.
you're doing well." And I go, "I appreciate that so much. Also, who the fuck is this?" And he was like, "It's Jamie." And I'm like, "Holy shit, I haven't talked to you in fucking years." And he still had my number and reached out. So shout out, Jamie. Appreciate you listening, brother.
Thanks for listening, Jamie.
Hell fucking
I still
yeah.
see him on occasion because
Do
he
you?
works at the butcher shop over here.
Right, K&K.
So I get some of his meats,
Yeah,
if
he
you know what I
loads
mean.
you up with those meats.
Yeah.
Right on.
Okay, so let's start this off. So we did get a text in. So we did have this previous episode that was like our top 3 desert island situations. They asked, what 3 movies would you bring to watch forever on a desert island, but one of them has to be a desert island movie.
Ooh. Man, this is a tough question.
It is tough.
Because you're not asking what's your favorite movie or what's the best movie. You're asking what movie can you watch the most amount of times.
Uh-huh.
Right?
Just over and over,
over
and
and over and over again.
Yeah.
I feel like our answers are going to be somewhat similar.
I don't think so.
No?
No.
Well, if you don't think so, then they definitely won't be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Natalie, do you have anything that's coming to mind yet?
Well, I was wondering what you guys had in mind.
Okay.
Okay, so you want us to go first?
Yeah.
Do we
Yeah.
make her go first? She's the guest.
No.
No, she brought us gifts.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
I think that's rude to put her on the spot right away.
Okay.
And we love the women, so we'll be happy to let you see how the pros do it.
Yeah. Do you want to go first, or shall I?
Sure, I can go first. For me, I would probably bring Airplane, the original Airplane. I can watch that. It would be like between that and Naked Gun. Like those are movies that I can watch nonstop,
Sure.
over and over and over again. Classic nonstop one-liner movies. Like I love The Big Lebowski, but I've already seen it 500 times, so I'm probably not going to bring that with me.
No, I'm just to say, what's another 500?
I mean, it's just I can quote the movie from the beginning to the end. So if I'm
Not
on
a
a
bad
desert
thing.
island, I could probably just, I could act it out myself.
Yeah.
As opposed to having to just be like, oh my God, here's one movie and I already know all of the words to it.
Yeah.
Man, for the desert island movie, I'm trying to think of what besides Castaway. And I wouldn't want to watch Castaway I wouldn't want to watch it ever if I'm on a fucking desert island. That sucks. Man, what else would I bring for another movie? For me, it's in between Hot Rod and Freddy Got Fingered.
But those aren't desert island
No.
movies.
But it was that's 2 of my
Oh,
movies.
gotcha. So your
it's
first
between
one is
those
like
2.
Airplane
Yeah.
and maybe Naked Gun.
Airplane
So
or Naked Gun,
All right.
and then Hot Rod or...
double gun to the head. You have to pick one of each.
All right, I'm going Airplane and I'm going Freddy Got Fingered.
Nice.
Yeah,
Okay.
I gotta do it.
Those are all tough choices, but I
Yeah.
get it.
I'll think on the Desert Island one some more because I certainly don't want to watch a movie that has one person in it.
Okay.
You know.
All right. Well, then you're gonna have to pick one by the end of this round.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. What about you?
For me, it would be Hot Fuzz.
Hell yeah.
I think it's just amazingly
Super
shot.
fun, super quotable, great
yeah,
music.
everything. It's just amazing how everything you see in the front of the end of the movie wraps right back around in the back end.
Yeah.
I would go with something nostalgic that I still like love to see like all the time. Probably The Goonies.
Hell yeah. That's such a great movie.
Yeah, and I think for my desert island movie would be Swiss Army Man.
That's a good call.
Yeah.
That was a shockingly good movie.
Fucking love that movie.
Yeah, I watched that with Jen, and she was just like, "What the fuck is this?" The whole time he's just riding that corpse around that keeps farting in the ocean.
Yeah, I think Jess found it kind of stupid. So now, like, when I want to watch it again, it's like she's like, "I'm gonna go to bed." I'm like, "All right, yeah, I'm just gonna sit up for a little bit longer." I'm like, "Let's throw on Swiss Army Man."
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
All right, good call.
Nat, what do you got over there?
Okay, so I'm glad I had time to think because he's right. It's not what your favorite movies are; it's what you're willing to watch over and over again.
Scoot just a little bit closer. Good.
So my desert island one would be Blue Lagoon because there's more than one person in it.
Sure.
Oh, okay.
Either that one or Lord of the Flies.
Oh,
Good call.
I didn't even think about Lord of the Flies.
Good call.
And then what immediately came to mind before that were Kill Bill 1 and 2.
So you went back to back.
Nice.
Nice. That's
Interesting.
That's an interesting idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that.
But they are up there with some of my favorite movies.
You can just
Definitely.
watch over and over and over.
For sure.
Oh my
Nice.
god, they're so well shot. Tarantino's
Yeah, those
a
were
genius. When it's Tarantino, so the music is fucking dope.
Yeah.
Like, yeah,
I
totally understand.
It's definitely like I need to go back and rewatch because I have not watched them in like 10 plus years. I think not on purpose. I just I
same.
forget. Yeah,
Me too.
Okay. Well, so then you got to circle back for your desert island movie.
Can I go Mad Max? Is that a desert? I mean, it's not really an island.
No, it's not on an island.
Not an island.
No.
So I'll go Island of Dr. Moreau.
Okay.
That's a deserted island with a bunch of freak shows on it.
Yeah,
Like,
I don't think I know what movie you're talking about. But I don't think I've ever seen it.
Oh my god, yeah. Hopefully this island has mushrooms on it, and I'll be all set forever because I could just eat psilocybin and watch the Island of Dr. Moreau. It's fucking terrible and it's strange, and I would watch it a million times.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Not a bad road, guys.
Yeah.
Nicely
definitely.
done.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Well, do we just kind of get
Hell
right
yeah,
into
dude.
it?
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
I mean,
okay.
It's getting warm.
I mean, yeah.
Doesn't last long.
Well, is
outside
it
of the
supposed to be,
fridge.
or were we supposed to be drinking it cold? I mean, when it comes out of the tit, it's warm.
Yeah.
Warm, sure.
Oh, is
No,
it okay that we call them tits, by the way?
Yeah.
I didn't even think to ask that beforehand. I know that might be
Should we
that's
say
offense.
teat?
Well, that's right from the udders.
Yeah.
I'm trying to not be rude or grotesque, but I mean, you just had a baby, so it's like those are functional things. Those aren't tits anymore. They're
still
breasts.
tits.
Okay. As long as you're okay with them being tits.
There's no information on here, right? I was going to try to show off the bottle, but I don't want to show anything that's got like your name or anything in there.
Oh no, it
Info?
just it's an Enfamil bottle that
Okay.
had formula in it. And
All
I
right.
Just used it to
Here's
put
the
my
bottle,
milk in.
guys.
And it
This
has
is
your
it.
name on it.
It's got what? My
It
name?
has your name on it.
Oh,
Hell
nice.
yeah.
So
You
that
spelled
people
pizza
knew.
wrong.
We knew in the freezer that was your milk.
I love that.
Okay.
I love that. And I
Pour these
don't
out
know.
here.
I kind of feel like we're stealing lunch from your baby a little bit.
No,
Like, I feel like a schoolyard
Give
bully.
me your lunch
Yeah,
money.
exactly.
Or just the milk.
Yeah.
she's got plenty.
Okay.
But that well is dry. She's got formula.
So it's
now.
dried up, huh?
Yes.
Wait, and so
Does that happen?
I
We're
it
idiots,
did-
by the way.
yeah, I was
no,
going
We
to
don't
ask
know
you
anything.
be asking questions. So yeah, just
Every
bear with us.
woman is different. Some women produce in excess. Some women don't. I was somewhere in the middle. It was there. It was like rock hard boobs every morning, just spewing out. And then the nurse was like, "Pump. The more you pump,
Yeah.
the more you pump, the more milk you'll produce because it's your body thinking the baby needs more."
Yeah.
But the more I pumped, the less was in the machine. So
Interesting.
it just got less and less. I mean, if I squeeze them hard enough, there'll be like a trickle. But,
Yeah, that's why I thought you had to like massage them, or we go with the Kevin Maloney theory, right?
Right.
To start crying and then
Yeah.
they start lactating.
They do lactate when she's upset. I do feel like
Yeah.
a dab tab on my shirt is like, oh,
Like
it's
this?
cold
That's
there. Yeah.
exactly. Yeah. Yeah, that's supposed to be a real thing.
It is.
Yeah.
It's strange.
Interesting.
It's like her emotions like have an effect on my
Yeah,
on
they
my
trigger
body.
your
Yeah.
body. I mean, I'd read some really incredible stuff about breast milk.
Oh, yeah, hold on. We're going to. There you go. Nice. Go on.
Like really incredible stuff. Like how your breast milk is different in the morning and at nighttime. Because at nighttime your body will produce melatonin to put your baby to sleep. So your body like is getting your baby on like a sleep cycle.
That's magical.
It's crazy. Your breast milk is different if you have boys or girls because boys need different types of vitamins than girls do. So because
Look
we
at
have
this.
it's,
Dr.
it's
Bagel.
fucking amazing. Yeah, I know. Of course, I'm gonna be on some sort of a watch list for adding breast milk into my Google search. It's like, is there
Actually, it
is there
sounds
a
more like-
porno with a corn dog in it? And then my next search is like, interesting facts about breast milk. It's like, that's some psycho shit.
All of those things are probably also in Tommy's history, so you're good.
That's true.
Yeah. Little tomboy back there. Hi, buddy.
Hey, buddy.
Okay.
All right.
So let's do this. Yeah, and then we can dive in. I mean, I got a bunch of questions.
Yeah,
So
I got a
Go
bunch of
for
questions
it.
too.
okay.
Go for it,
Well,
Well,
down the hatch, boys.
cheers.
guys.
Thanks,
I
Nat.
haven't had a
no
shot of this in
problem.
42 years.
Yeah.
Tastes like milk.
Huh. I wasn't sure if we like swish it around like a wine. You
Oh,
know,
and then
do
spit it into a bucket.
Yeah, just kind of stir it around a little bit in the glass,
Should
and
have
then
brought more.
Of course I got
Get
cookies.
Dip in the
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh nice.
Yeah, I want my after milk cookie.
So you got the ASMR for cookies.
You're damn right.
Nice. Yeah. I mean that was very much so. Nat, you want some cookies?
No, I'm
You
good,
guys
thanks.
want some cookies?
Want some cookies?
Tommy boy, you looking for cookies back there? I guess
You
I'll
guys
I'll
need-
have
need
one.
a palate cleanser?
Yeah,
Yeah.
might as well. Here, pass it down. Yeah.
Really that bad?
No, it was good actually. Like that tasted
was.
actually like
Sweet.
regular milk. Like
It's very light.
Yeah, it's
It's
very light.
very
Almost
light.
watery.
yeah,
Yeah.
kinda. Yeah.
I'm very surprised, honestly.
And I think I might have already brought this up, but so Boo's her husband,
Right?
and when after they had the baby, or maybe it was right before you had the baby when he was like tasting it. Was it before or after?
So
Because he
near-
called me and he's like,
near the end of my pregnancy, I started to drip a little, or if you squeezed hard enough, you could see colostrum come out, which is it's orange in the first few weeks of
I read that too.
pregnancy.
I don't know, I was gonna
and-
bring that up too.
and
Yeah.
birth. So you guys got kind of an orangey batch because it was one of the first, and then it gets lighter as you go along.
Is it also something like with your diet? Like if you're eating like a lot of like I read if you eat like sorry, this cookie's taking all the fucking spit out of my mouth.
Yeah.
Um,
Like if you eat a bunch of
Like
spicy
carrots
food,
or other
does your
things.
baby come out Mexican?
I didn't try that.
No,
but
maybe next
no.
baby.
but if you eat like a bunch of like carrots and things that are like orangey, that the milk does come out orange.
That I'm not sure about, but I do know colostrum is prevalent in the first few months.
It's very interesting.
And then it'll just get lighter as you go along. I've heard that it could be blue sometimes.
That's what I was gonna say. Is there a reason why it's blue sometimes?
That I'm not sure of because I didn't have the blue milk, so I didn't look it up.
Yeah, I read the
All
same
right.
things that it can run this spectrum of colors, but I didn't get anything as to what the reasoning for it was.
I'm gonna take a quick look
I do
since
know that
you
if
know
you're ill,
Tommy's just whatever
there are
back
other
there.
Colors and like those are more.
That's super
obvious
interesting.
to decipher.
All right, let's take a look. Why is breast milk? Nope, that says breast
So,
milk.
by the way, tell me if I'm out of bounds on any questions I ask. All right. So if you're uncomfortable, you don't have to answer anything. But you mentioned you were like, I would wake up with rock hard tits, like
Yeah.
when you were milking.
Mhm.
Does the baby feeding off of you, like, does that fuck with your nips?
Oh, it certainly did. It
Yeah.
was definitely a part of the reason I wanted to stop breastfeeding. Yeah, they get real raw.
That's what I would imagine.
They bleed, they
Oh my
scab.
god.
So I used to alternate, but then I would need like breaks of her not
Yeah.
being anywhere near me.
It blows my mind because you see these videos of these parents, and they're usually a little bit psycho, and it's like they're breastfeeding their kid till they're like 6. And it's like, dude, how can you take
Dude, that's
teeth
wild.
on your nips for
That's-
6 fucking years?
Oh, yeah.
That's intense. My sister breastfed till my nephew had teeth, and it took him biting her for her to stop. I was like, that
Good
is
Lord,
far
man.
too long.
Yeah.
teeth.
so long. Yeah, like
No.
you're in kindergarten.
No.
That's too much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, mommy, milk.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like-
all right, it's everybody go to the cafeteria except for Billy.
Yeah.
Go see your mom.
Yeah. They got their own little room in
Yeah,
the school.
She would pinch with just her gums, and I was like, "This is unbearable."
I
can't
bet.
do it.
Interesting.
Can't do it.
I bet.
So what I see here for that sometimes it can appear blue. It says breast milk that's bluish in color is often fore milk. Probably has extra skin on it then, huh?
Yeah.
Which is thinner and has less fat than hind milk. It's a protein that causes this bluish hue. It's typically just noticeable more in like the beginning of like feeding or pumping. So it's something that does wear off.
It's interesting.
Yeah.
It's crazy, this stuff that I read. Like, you know that kissing your baby changes your breast milk too? When you kiss your baby, you get some of the like chemicals from the baby's skin into your system, which changes the way that your breast milk like is produced to be more healthy for your specific baby. So the little bit of just your lips touching the baby is going to change the composition of the breast milk to make it more beneficial for
magic.
for the baby.
That's
So that's what
wild.
happens when you kiss them. What do you think happens if you spit on them?
Yeah.
The baby. I'm just curious.
I'll
Like,
go home and try.
yeah,
and I'll be
yes,
back
please
soon.
report back.
Oh man.
This is an educational episode.
Yeah,
This
it sure
like
is.
This is like the more you know
I'm
episode.
learning
Yeah.
a lot. 'Cause
Yeah.
I didn't really do that much research on breast milk. I was just waiting to see how it all unfolded.
I'm
since
sure,
it's
but that's
different
amazing,
for
right? That your
everyone.
body does all of that shit.
Yeah.
It's incredible.
And what I was saying before is that Boo had called me and I was like, "Hey, what's going on?" And he's like, "Hey, so I have this little glass, the shot glass of this like milky white substance that came out of my wife's tit, and I thought of you guys." I'm like,
Hell
"Go
yeah,
on."
right.
He's like, "So I'm gonna taste this." While I wanted to like talk to you while I was doing it, and I was like, "Damn, this would have been cooler to be on the show, Boo,"
Right.
but it's fine. And then he goes, "Oh," he's like, "Yeah, it's a little sweet, and then it doesn't really taste like anything,"
Yeah.
which is he's not wrong.
Yeah,
it's
it's pretty
kind of
accurate.
was like, yeah, that does not have like as much of like a lingering taste that like regular milk does.
Or like that thickness of like a whole
Right.
milk,
Yeah.
milk.
Yeah.
And that's a lot coming from Boo. He does not drink milk at all. But
Wow,
obviously
he made an
you
exception.
have to try.
Well, of course,
Absolutely.
yeah,
Coming out of me.
yeah, it's coming out of his wife.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
So like when you're how do I phrase this? There's no good way. I'm just gonna
Just-
plop,
just-
I'm just
yeah.
gonna plop it out there. So you know, in the pornographic films, when a gentleman is going to ejaculate, they're known as either being blobbers or shooters, right? And this is for the money shot experience, so that the woman knows if she needs to kneel down like below him or get 6 feet away from him. So when you are like massaging yourself, like is that something that women have too? Like, does it sometimes just dribble, or is it like high powered like a squirt gun?
So, good question.
Thanks.
Every woman's different. I had a cousin. She would like press her boob, and she could squirt you from across the table.
That is very impressive. Yeah,
She used to do it to all of her cousins, and it would be a surprise.
That's
I was
hilarious.
that's
like-
actually
I
hysterical.
was
Yeah.
like 6 when I got squirted in the face with this breast milk. Mine is more of a trickle.
Okay.
There was no squirting, and I was so bummed because I thought, oh, we're related. You're my first cousin. Like, I'm totally gonna have
Yeah.
this ability, and it did not
What a
happen.
bummer.
And then be able to do it back to her.
Yeah, exactly.
Hmm.
But no, it would just drip.
Is it
lot.
normal for chicks to try each other's breast milk? Is that like a thing chicks do?
Chicks specifically, I don't know, but I have been to other homes of friends, and you guys are not the first people to try my breast milk. So
Interesting.
Oh, okay.
People get curious, but it was even male to female ratio. It's
Okay.
like, a lot of people haven't drank breast milk in a long
Yeah.
time. So
Yeah.
it's like, well, if
Excellent.
you're trying it, I'll try it. And
Yeah.
Super cool.
And then have
Yeah.
you tried breast milk before you had the baby, like somebody else's?
yeah, I guess I have, but never like a shot glass of it. It would be like more of that trickle. It's like, oh, let me.
Oh, so
Sure.
you're just
you
like
can't
just
really-
taking it right off the tit.
yeah, just a thimble,
Yeah.
if you will.
It's like, oh, there's a drip coming out. Let me
Yeah.
get that for you.
Wham! Wham! And just like,
Catch it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I guess women are close like that.
yeah, that sounds like a
Yeah.
chick thing.
And then so I assumed you also had to taste your own, right?
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Magical.
Were you ever in a pinch, like you drink coffee and you're just like, fuck, I'm out of creamer?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah,
That's
I
a
mean,
great question.
Yeah.
So what we did do research on, no, I haven't done that
Okay.
because I drink my coffee black, but we did do research on whether or not you can make cheese out of breast milk, and you can. So
Oh, I would assume so.
you can
Yeah.
also make ice cream and stuff like that.
Did you guys save some to like do this shit?
No, but we
Natalie.
thought it was pretty interesting.
You guys have to have
the
another baby.
process of making cheese, that would just be so gross.
Well, I mean, to make some fresh mutts, it's
to make
simple,
to make
but
ricotta, all you have to do is boil it.
Boil it.
well,
You boil
say-
it,
I mean,
it
that's
separates into the ricotta. That's
That
that's
gets
that's
the
simple.
Fresco, too.
kind of
Yeah.
same with the mutts though
Yeah,
too.
the mutts. There's just like there's one chemical
vinegar
that
or
you
like
need.
like a
Yeah.
vinegar that's in there, and then it's the same thing, kind of boiling it and just let it just
Yeah,
pull it in and squeeze it all out.
Well, we
Tit
didn't
mutts.
try.
Yeah, titmuts. Oh yeah.
But milk did trickle down her armpit, and I didn't realize till later, and it did smell like cheese. And I was like, why does she smell like cheese?
Interesting.
There's
Hmm.
this white line under her arm. I was like, oh,
Just dried up and crusted.
time for a bath.
This is fascinating.
So it's possible.
Like I only have a couple friends with kids. I don't know about you, but most
Yeah,
of
kinda
my
the
friends
same.
don't have kids, so this is all
Yeah.
very interesting. To
Oh
me.
yeah, and there's some people that have the kids. And you're like, I want to ask them so many questions, but I want to come off as a weird pervert.
Exactly.
You know.
Ask away. No, this
Yeah.
is so cool.
Yeah. And so, never mind. I guess we already kind of went over that. I was gonna think about like, were you like when you like saw like the milk coming out blue? Did you like freak out?
No, mine never was blue. Mine
Okay.
was very orange. We freaked out when we saw the orange because I was still pregnant. So I was like, if I squeeze, would something come out, or does that happen immediately after birth?
Mhm.
So
Is it
every now and then
spoiled?
we-
It's like
yeah, no.
sludging up.
Fuck, did I eat Cheetos?
But it is very orange. It's more like it's hard to explain, but even after she would eat, like drinking mostly my milk, it would come out seedy, and it would also come out seedy. Like it was such a weird consistency. So
Huh.
that first squeeze where it was just like this bright orange, he was curious, like, I want to try it, whatever comes out. But then we saw that color, and we were like, don't put that in your mouth. That doesn't look like milk at
Yeah.
all. So I was like, maybe let's wait till after it's, done
Yeah.
cooking in there, just like her. And it came out orange, but it was more like liquidy as opposed to like a thick solid.
Yeah.
So
He did
Okay.
say that he did try sucking it right from the teat, and he's like, it's so hard to get out of there. He's
Yeah,
like,
I
I don't know
bet.
how the baby's gonna get this out. But I'm like, it's probably just not fully ready yet, bud.
yeah, or you're doing it wrong.
Start
Yeah.
crying. Yeah.
Start-
Did it does it feel weird like when you're like do you have a certain feeling of like when it's coming out?
No, you don't actually feel when it comes out, like if she's on or if it's dripping, other than realizing that like your shirt is wet. You don't actually feel it come out. I do feel, well, I guess, like if she cries and I start to lactate, there is like a throbbing sensation on your nipples,
Interesting.
but I don't feel like it spewing out or anything.
Huh.
Just like, oh, my shit is wet.
Yeah. And you're like, oh, gotta go change my shirt.
Yeah.
So, like, while you were in the swing of things, of doing the breastfeeding, would it be like if you didn't pump for a while? Would it be like, were you sore because of it? Like, you
Yeah,
have to
like,
pump to
the
like
rock hard
empty the.
boobs
Yeah.
don't feel good.
I'm sure
Those
not.
are
I
painful
cannot
as hell.
imagine.
And they looked like boxes. They weren't like, I mean, they were gorgeous in a bra, in a nice V-neck. But when you just looked at them like in the mirror, they looked like giant squares and just like veiny and just dripping. Like,
Yeah.
onto the floor, dripping.
Wow.
Interesting.
And
So
then
cool.
I would just like, sit there and pump for like an hour because you're not supposed to let them go that long without pumping.
Right.
Like that's just painful for you. So instead of pumping for like a standard half an hour, I would just do it twice and the whole thing would be full.
Yeah.
You could have got paid a lot of money just for standing there in front of the mirror and just letting it just drip onto the floor.
Yeah.
Yeah, just didn't
Don't have to
think
have your
stuff like
face in
that.
there.
Let it drip onto your feet and then put it on a feet finder.
Oh, yeah.
That would have been a good idea.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Pass off formula.
I have, speaking of, I have a milk joke for you.
Go on.
What do you call somebody who enjoys going on Feet Finder but only for Caucasian feet?
I got nothing.
Nothing. Lactose intolerant.
Oh.
Lactose
Okay.
intolerant. Yeah. You're welcome. That worked out perfect.
Good one. What about cravings? Did you have any like weird cravings while you're pregnant?
Weird, no. Just What I typically like, only a lot more.
You weren't like dunking like pickles in ice cream or like.
No, I didn't have any of that. I mean, so many women I know have had weird cravings like that. Like, I remember one of my coworkers told me she used to want to eat dirt. So since she
Weird.
couldn't eat dirt,
Yeah, I
she would
mean,
watch YouTube videos and eat ice cubes while watching it and pretend she was eating dirt.
Interesting.
what
Not
the
that
fuck?
ice
It's like
cubes
my
are
strange
tricking
addiction.
yourself,
to,
yeah.
like that consistency.
Yeah, I wonder
but
why dirt.
She was like, I had this craving for dirt.
That's crazy. Like my mom,
Not me.
I remember she told me like, and my dad told me like she had wild cravings. Like she was eating like pickles with peanut butter and like crazy stuff like that. Like she freaked out at my dad one time because he bought soap that was scented, and she like pumped some soap into her hand, and she said it smelled so bad she like started throwing up, and she took the soap dispenser and like hit him in the head with it because she was like, "What the fuck? Why does this smell like this?" And like cracked him with it.
I thought you were gonna say she's gonna start like looking and eating it.
No, that would have been
Because like that
more
whole like
interesting.
that whole like ice and like dirt thing, it makes you think it's like, all right, take a slice of pizza, take a huge sniff of it while you close your eyes, and then throw on like a piece of
Celery,
broccoli or
yeah.
something. Yeah,
Yeah, I don't think that would work for me.
yeah. It's
No,
the
I
worst
really-
pizza ever.
I'm not easily tricked.
Yeah.
I craved chocolate frosties,
Mm.
smoothies, regular shit, just on a
Yeah, that's not
more
that crazy.
consistent scale. Like
Yeah.
my tail end of my dreams right before waking up was always like, he needs to make me this. So I'd
Always
wake
food
up-
based.
Yeah, I would wake up thinking about pancakes, and he would come in. I'm like, pancakes.
Fuck,
now.
I might be pregnant.
Like, now.
I've been dreaming about frosties and pancakes all goddamn day.
But yeah,
Pancakes.
I can really tell the difference now. Just the sheer amount I was eating before. I was just always hungry.
I can imagine feeding or
Yeah.
for two or eating for two.
But now she's out, and it's just like all you want is this gross ass powder water.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Interesting.
The like little
This-
formula shit.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I remember making those for my siblings.
I think it would be worth everything that you have to go through when you're pregnant to be able to eat whatever the fuck you want the whole
Oh,
time.
yeah.
And nobody's like, bro, slow down.
Mm-hmm.
So that-
Oh, I know, right?
That's another reason why I don't do breast milk anymore.
Yeah, because then you can drink.
It's nice having a drink.
Oh yeah,
Without feeling like I'm giving her alcohol.
Yeah.
yeah.
And then pumping and dumping just feels wrong.
Yeah.
I think that's the name of Dave's sex tape.
It was my high school sex. In fact, it was called Dumping and Dumping.
Oh.
But yeah, I think Boo and I are gonna recreate that at some point.
Dumping and pumping.
Dumping and dumping. Yeah.
Dump and dumper.
Yep, exactly.
Okay, interesting. All right, so not crazy cravings.
Not me at least, but I'm sure other women for sure.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's kind of like I don't want to say myth, but like just the kind of the thing, the stereotype, I guess. You know that pregnant women have crazy cravings. So I had to ask.
One old wives' tale that did turn out to be true. I had like horrible heartburn the entire time. Like I
I
was
hear that's a thing.
polishing off bottles of Tums.
We did have this discussion. I remember this.
And my daughter's got a full head of hair. They say the more hair they have, the more heartburn you get.
Interesting.
So I was like, she
Oh.
better have full fucking head of hair.
Which she does.
Yeah.
She's
She most
pretty
certainly
adorable.
does. Yeah.
Yeah.
She is.
Usually, like babies when they come out, they're fucking gross.
Gross.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I mentioned this to you before when I was talking to Jen when she wanted to go to Nicole's to see Jackson be born. And I was like, yeah. I was like, but, after he's born, like, I'm going to take off for a couple days, and then I'll come back after. They wipe him off, and he gains a little weight.
Yeah.
Because, like, fresh babies, fucking, like, aliens.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no.
especially when people are like posting pictures like after they've just had the baby. I'm
And
like,
there's, like, goo on
"Ugh."
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
It just got slimed. I'm
Like,
like, no thank
Throw
you.
it through the car wash
yeah,
real quick
right,
first,
exactly.
dude. Yeah.
Give it a rinse cycle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Right in the dishwasher.
exactly.
That's 100% true. She came out and they throw them on you now immediately, and like you envision all these moments you're gonna have and like all these feelings and like how you're gonna react, and like they threw her on me, and honestly the first thing I thought was like, she's really hot and slimy.
Yeah, I bet.
Can you guys actually clean her off first and
Yeah.
give her back just in a sec?
Aren't you guys supposed to be sanitary? What the fuck are we doing here?
Right.
But it was magical. Her eyes were open and she looked right at me. It was great.
That is super cool.
That's probably super adorable. We had a little moment. We had a little stare off
You
when we
did.
came
You-
over.
You held her.
Mm-hmm. Feel free to say no. Did you poop?
Yes, I did actually. Yeah, I was very, very numb. So they gave me an epidural, and I guess maybe back in the day, if you got your epidural and it wore off, like that was it. You were screwed
Yeah,
if
that's
you
it.
didn't have
Yeah.
a baby. Now they do a consistent trickle, and they'll re-up on
You got a drip for
So
him?
I got
That's dope.
I got 2 re-ups of this epidural, but the last one, he didn't tell me they were like about to come in and like, hey, you're ready to start pushing. So I was like 100% numb, couldn't feel anything, and they're like, start pushing with everything you have in you. I'm like, okay. So my face and my arms look like I'm just going for it.
Yeah, I can imagine.
They're all cheering me on. I'm like, cool, great, this is gonna be so quick. It was just like, you're not doing shit.
Yeah.
Nothing's happening down
That's
there.
crazy.
I was
How long
like-
were you in labor for?
I was in labor for 14 hours, but I only pushed for 1.
What the fuck,
So
dude?
it kind of like I for 10 days prior to being induced, I was already 2.5 centimeters dilated. So she was already preparing herself to come before I had even realized. Then I got to the hospital. They induced me, and I was hanging out at 5.5 to 6 for the almost whole 14 hours.
Wow.
So it kind of, they say it's been debunked that it doesn't slow you down, but I feel like if she was readying herself 10 days prior, like, and then we stop at 6
Yeah.
after this injection, it's like, yeah, maybe you guys kind of slowed it down a bit, but
That's crazy.
so it took up until 11 p.m. for them to say, like, you're at 10 now, like it's time to start pushing. But I was so numb, like it just, like a little bit of her head would come out, and then when I would stop, she would just
Right back up.
right back
Yikes.
in. she was kind of prairie dog in there for a while. So they got a vacuum out, so they suction it to her head like
Like a
fucking-
Dyson ball.
like a toilet plunger.
Yeah, there it
almost.
is.
Holy
Um,
jeez.
Yeah.
I thought we were like much further like
Mm-mm.
technology
No.
and
Still
advanced
like
now.
giant forceps and shit
No,
like that's like still
so-
medieval.
Yeah.
They like put a claw on her head to try to get her out, and like twice it unsuctioned, so I could feel them like pulling with all their might. And
Yeah,
just-
that's what I was waiting for. Yeah.
And just like it would come out, and I'm like, first off, what the fuck are they doing to my child's head?
Yeah,
Right.
that's my first thoughts.
So then the scissors came out, and they cut my gooch 2 degrees. And made
Yikes.
room for her head, and by the third time, she was out.
They didn't have to do the full
No,
episiotomy, is that what it's called?
Episiotomy,
Yeah.
yeah, that's what it's called. But no, not all the way to like my asshole. It
Yeah.
was just like
God, that's fucking wild.
just like
It is
a
fucking
little
wild.
bit.
Fucking snip
just
you
a little
open.
bit. Boo was like, yeah, I saw all of that. I really wish I had turned around after they got scissors.
Yeah.
He was very trembly, very what the fuck is going on here?
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
also like couldn't keep his eyes off it.
I mean, that baby's gotta have like Boo's head in order for them to like
100%.
try to get that thing out. It's like going back in.
Let's go get scissors and a plunger.
Right, you think it's like 2024. You're like, there's probably some really technologically advanced way to do this, and they're like, we got to run to Ace Hardware real quick. I'll be right back. All right, I'm gonna get duct tape, a bucket. I need some scissors, and I need a toilet plunger.
Yeah.
Let's go have this baby.
Yeah. Actually, you know what? Just back the truck up. Let's get the chain hooked up.
Yep.
Just,
Oh, man. He said she almost like put her foot on the bed to fucking suction.
Holy
her out.
oh
shit.
my God, that would have
It
been
was like she was this close for having her fucking foot up there. on the edge of
holy
the bed.
shit.
It's like, Jesus
That-
Christ.
If I could just, I don't know, just to kind of be a fly on the wall to not see anything what's going on down there, but just to see the way these doctors
Yeah.
are trying to plunge this baby out of your vagina.
We have a little bit of a video. I'll show you.
All right.
Okay.
You don't see anything special
Sure.
other than her putting like this plunger and trying to like grab her head again.
Yep. I want to
Interesting.
see that.
They don't let you record apparently anymore.
Oh.
I believe it's to avoid malpractice being recorded.
That's probably correct.
Oh, that makes
But-
more sense.
So Boo took that to me and like, let me just put my phone away. So he got
Yeah.
half, and then when she was actually born, I
Like, yeah,
really
don't
half.
like they got the foot up on the table, plunging this baby out, and then she turns, she's like, "Stop filming! What the fuck are you doing?"
I said no
Camera
cameras.
phone.
Yeah. And she pulls out her phone and starts filming him. It's like,
Right.
this guy is trying to film me, get a baby out of this vagina.
Yeah. They're all like, settle down, Karen.
Yeah.
You're
Just get the
filming.
fucking baby out already.
Right, exactly.
Do your fucking job.
We're so lucky that that women are the ones that have babies, right? Because dudes would be awful at this. You're like, oh, I was only in labor for 14 hours. What the fuck? I was pissed. I had to fly 14 hours to get to Asia.
Dude,
I
same.
had to sit in a chair and watch 5 movies and drink cocktails, and I was like, this is bullshit.
This sucks. Yeah.
I was totally comfortable. I got drunk. They fed me 5 times, and I slept for 6 hours. And you're like, yeah, I was awake for 14 hours, just pushing a baby out for 13. No big deal. Just had only to push hard for an hour, and I'm good to go. I would be the biggest fucking baby in the world.
Oh, I know, dude. Same. Women are definitely the better
so
sex for sure.
Well, the epidural helped a lot.
I'm sure.
I guess that's a good point too.
Was it awesome?
Oh, it was awesome.
Yeah, I bet it's awesome.
I went as long as I could without it because they ask you if you want it. You don't have to get it. They highly recommend it. They're like, it's your first kid, feel that first number 10 contraction and tell us how you feel. So, I was like, no, I'll wait. And then I guess the anesthesiologist was in an emergency C-section when those first few contractions hit. I was just like, where is this guy? Where did he go?
Yeah.
They were like, oh, he's in this other room. Go get him right now. Go get him. They were like, oh, you're ready for it? Okay, we'll go see where he is.
So I could do it.
They came back. They were like, he's busy right now, but you're next on the list. And he finally came in, gave me the epidural, which was a lot more simple than I had imagined. I thought of this giant needle going into my spine, but
That's what I thought it was too. I mean, it might be different now, but I thought that was the thing, right?
It's more a catheter in your back, and then they put a line up to your shoulder, and then they'll inject that line, and it goes.
Well, that's but you have like a drip now, so it would be that catheter. But like before, it's just one fucking shot, and I thought it was supposed to be like right to your spine,
Yeah,
right?
it was a long time ago.
It
Yeah.
wasn't like that at all. I didn't feel it at all, but once it kicked in, they were like.
Was it like immediate? Like they pushed the plunger, and you're just like in outer space?
Immediate? No. It took a couple minutes. You start to feel the contractions come on, but they feel less and less. And then they came in, they're like, how's the epidural? I was like, it's great. I love it.
Yeah.
I love it so much. And every time I felt one come on again, which the amount of time in between them was significant. I mean, I had 2 re-ups in 14 hours. So it wasn't that bad, but yeah, those contractions
Interesting.
are no joke.
Yeah. Not to compare at all. I mean, even though they do say so I passed a pretty enormous kidney stone at one point, and they say that's the closest thing that a man will feel to childbirth for a woman. But they gave me a medicine for it called Toradol, and I was in fucking misery, abject terror. I was so in pain. And they gave me this shot, and 5 seconds later, I was like, "Laughter's not the best medicine. Toradol is." That's the best. That's the best fucking medicine ever. It's such a stupid saying now that I think about it. I'm like, this is amazing.
It actually would have been better if they're like, "Listen, if you're in pain, just have your friend come over and tell you jokes.
Yeah,
you'll be fine.
Yeah,
dude.
exactly.
Just have him stand in the bathroom with you.
Yeah, just laugh the kidney stone right out of yourself.
Yeah, you're standing there trying to piss, and he comes in, then he tells your whole lactose foot joke,
exactly.
and you're like. Damn, that's good. I'm going to use that on Monday.
That's hilarious. My dick doesn't even hurt anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about where were you when the water broke?
So my water didn't actually break. I got induced.
Boring.
Yeah, I know. And I was preparing for so many weeks, wondering where it was gonna happen, hoping it wasn't my couch or my bed or my car. I was really hoping it happened at work.
That would have been dope.
Right? But it didn't break because I got induced. So I actually had her almost a week early.
Cool.
They give you a shot to, start the induction. And once I reached 7 centimeters, they broke my water for me. And so once that happened,
that's cool.
Question.
Yeah.
So when they break the water for you, is it just a floodgate that falls out of your vagina across the table?
Good question.
Like you're popping a balloon?
It can be like that, yes. They did describe it as it can be a big gush, or it can just kind of seep out for the duration.
Settle and drizzle.
For the duration of the labor.
So which was it for you? Did they have like a beer bong covered over your vagina and it's just pouring out the other end into a bucket?
That's a
that
good
they picked up from
question.
Ace Hardware?
Yep.
That's a good question for Boo because I was so numb. I didn't feel how it came out, but I definitely remember his reaction to them popping it, and he was like, oh shit, look at that. And I was like, so I think it might have been a bit of a gush, and then it's sort of
So
just
cool.
like trickling after.
Damn,
I just
you
keep
know,
thinking about you remember Jaws?
Of course.
And when they were catching sharks and they thought it was the great white, and they would cut up its stomach, and all of its contents would dump out.
Yeah,
and they
yeah.
were like, oh, there's 3 license plates.
Yeah, like a tire.
There's supposed to be an arm in there. That's not our shark.
Yeah.
That's all I'm envisioning. Is just like they burst the water and like a whole pack of Rolaids comes out, and they're like, Jesus Christ, how many fucking mints has this brought in?
You know, not that like I wasn't prepared, but if we had this other system going, I would love to call Boo right now to ask him about what the floodgates were.
Yeah.
But that'll just have to be saved.
Yeah,
for
sure.
next week.
Not
We'll
an
update
episode.
you guys if it was just a whole flood or if it's just a couple little seeping out little dribbles, what have you.
So there's a comedian, Steve Ranzisi, and he does a bit talking about when his wife was going through labor, and he said that they were there for like the same amount of time, like I think they said 16 hours. And he's like, every like 90 minutes, a random doctor would just like walk into the room and just stick his hands in my wife's vagina and then leave. And I'm like, so curious about if that's really a thing.
Yeah, what was he doing?
He's like, it was so impersonal. It was like they were like looking for change in between couch cushions, and they wouldn't say anything. They would just take their gloves off and then leave. And I'm like, who the fuck was that guy?
He's just like, I just need to get one more in
Yeah,
before
I just
the.
want to check one thing real quick. Okay, we're good, and have
Yep.
a good day. And they leave, and he's like, I don't even know if that guy works here.
Well, that does seem a little bit impersonal. I will say there were like 30 fucking residents in my room. They
Oh
mentioned,
yeah,
like,
that was.
like there's gonna be a party later, and I thought, yeah, haha, that's cute. I'm gonna have a baby.
Right?
No, when I looked up, there were 2 actual doctors and like 30 residents
Holy shit!
all in front of me.
I've heard this.
And I mean, periodically throughout the labor, other doctors and nurses would come in, but only a few of them checked me. But they definitely like said something. We're gonna see how far along you are, where her head is. But yeah, I feel like had they all just come in and said like lay back and
Yeah.
just like fisted me like the first time
So
they
weird.
checked how far I was, yeah, that I would have felt a little used.
So
Yeah.
they all came in while you're already just open.
Just
Or were they
like
just-
like spread eagle.
Yeah.
Yeah. Once it was the anesthesiologist came to like re-up me, and he was like, "Okay, you're good." And not 5 minutes later, like 2 doctors and a nurse came in, and they were like, "All right, time to start pushing." You get flustered after that. Things feel like, oh shit, they're happening. Try to get situated, and I can't remember exactly when, but it's like you're pushing with all your might, so like sometimes your eyes are closed, but I just remember looking up and like the entire room was full of people. It's like
It's crazy.
That's
did all
wild
these
to open
people
your eyes.
come
Do they
from?
have you like sign anything or tell you like? I mean, I know they made a joke about a party coming
Yeah.
in, but they're like, but like you said, you're like, okay, we're gonna have a bunch of doctors and nurses, right? That's our party. Not like 30 fucking residents. Do they like be like, hey, can you sign off on this just so you know this is gonna happen for classes or do they anything like
I
or
did
give you like a real like instead of just like a party?
I did sign a bunch of documents. I'm sure one of them
But
said
you're
something in there about
in the middle of labor, so
residents.
you're like, I don't give a fuck, just fucking
Yeah.
here.
Pretty much.
Yeah,
Who
they're like-
you fucking you sign it.
They're like, the epidural starts once you sign all this shit. And you're like, awesome. I don't give a fuck what it says.
Yeah.
Pretty much. Like they definitely asked me like, hey, if things seem to be taking too long, can we use the vacuum? It's like, yeah, for sure. And like they definitely needed to, or I would have had to go straight into a C-section or something.
Yeah.
So yeah, there were a few moments where they came in and they were like, "Are you cool with this? Okay, here, sign this." So there were a lot of residents, and I feel like as people came in one by one, each of those people were there towards the end. And I mean, I didn't have a problem with it. You really like your mind's not focused on that in the moment, but they were all super nice. I had a really great team of nurses and doctors. The Fairview Hospital is great for giving birth. Highly recommend. And so they all the people I saw, one person here, one person there throughout the day, like were all around me, just like cheering me on the whole time. And
That's
it was
awesome.
like each person was so nice and helped us throughout that day. So
My
It
godkids were
was
all
cool.
born at Fairview, and all the parents were like, "It's
Yeah.
such an awesome place."
Yeah,
to
It
it's
was
got
a
a
good experience.
great
Yeah.
reputation.
I have no comparison, but I mean, who needs one? It was
Yeah,
good.
absolutely. If you have a glowing endorsement for it, like, why would you need to go anywhere else? It's awesome. So cool.
Well, there you go. If you live in the local Cleveland area.
Here we are plugging Fairview Hospital, Ace
Yeah.
Hardware. What the fuck? We should
Yeah.
start getting paid for these advertisements.
I
We're getting
know.
them for free.
We should write a letter. Actually, Natalie, if you can write like a letter to them, be like, here's it was like recommending you guys. So if you can also just throw some shit to Pizza Bagels,
Yeah.
that would be dope.
Can I get half off on the next baby?
Yeah. I was repping you guys, so
Yeah.
For sure. You
birth
got it.
one,
You got it.
birth one, half off.
Yeah, right.
It's a BOGO
Yeah,
situation.
BOGO,
Yeah.
I love it.
Birth one, get one free.
Man, I just can't imagine 16 hours of fucking.
Yeah, that's a
I
lot.
can't imagine. It's so
and,
long.
and yeah, oh, so it was 14?
Yeah, in total it was 14. We got there at 8 a.m. They were like, you're scheduled for 8 a.m. I didn't actually get induced till 10:45. So I believe I counted, and I either counted to me getting there, to her being out, or to when they gave me the shot, to her being out.
Okay.
Yeah.
So,
But
I mean,
I know I only pushed for 1 hour because they came in at 11 p.m. and she
Okay.
was born at midnight.
so the other 13 hours, you're just kind of like hanging out
Yeah.
and just waiting, and then like,
Watching TV.
Hanging
The whole
out, spread
discussion.
eagle, while people just
Spread eagle,
randomly
yep.
walk into the room. and
Yep.
Look at your puss.
here's my
Yeah.
vagina.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Eating popsicles and Jello and just living life.
What was
Damn,
Boo
that
doing
actually
the whole
sounds dope.
time?
Oh, he was getting me the popsicles and
Yeah.
the Jello. And
Watching TV and
yeah,
shit.
watching TV.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. It was like an Office marathon. So she was born and like The Office was playing. It was on mute, but it was on.
That's
Like,
sick,
okay.
though.
Yeah.
It's like, okay.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, like when I went in for my kidney stone, when we were sitting there waiting for me to go in and get like an X-ray or MRI or whatever it was, People versus Larry Flint was on, and Jen had never seen it before, and I'm like,
Nice.
I fucking love this movie.
Yeah, it's a great movie.
So I have great memories of that. But yeah, I had a similar thing. Like they have to put in like what's it called, like a shunt or something, like where when you have a huge kidney stone, they use like acoustics. They use like basically like a sound laser to break up the kidney stones so that you can pass them without surgery. But then they have to put a tube up your pee hole to make
This-
it bigger.
Wait, what's a stint?
Stint? Maybe?
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think it's a stint.
Yeah, I don't know what the difference is.
Okay.
Stint.
That's what I thought. Yep.
And yeah, so they had to put that in, and then they break up the kidney stone, and you can pass it on your own without having to have surgery. But then they have to take it back out, right? So I'm like, fuck this. They're like, they give you Xanax an hour before because they're like, it's fucking painful. It's really awkward. You gotta put your legs up in these stirrups. And you're wearing a gown, and that's not my best presentation side. You know what I'm
Sounds a
saying?
lot like
It's just asshole forward and floppy dick on one side. And it was it's these two like older Indian dudes that are the doctors, and I'm like totally comfortable with this. And they're like, oh, we do have an intern, and they bring in this like fucking 24-year-old hot chick. And I'm just like, what the fuck,
Like,
dude?
could you at least warn me so I can like get
Yeah,
at least
fluff
like
myself a
halfway?
little
Yeah,
bit.
just a little bit.
Flick
Yeah.
it a little? Like it's just this is its worst it's ever
Yeah.
looked.
It's,
Sitting on
also,
this-
it's cold in here.
On
just
this
so you
cold
know. Yeah.
table with a gown on and my
Yeah.
legs up in stirrups, my asshole in the air, and I'm just like, here. And she's like, hi, I'm Stephanie. And I'm like, fuck, this is a girl.
Get out!
Yeah, exactly.
I'm not ready.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't have my makeup on.
Yeah. I think I apologize. I'm like, I'm sorry. I think I told her I was sorry like 5 times. And she's just like, hello, I'm Stephanie. I just like lean up. I'm just like do a sit up, and I'm like, oh, I'm sorry. I'm like, fuck. I didn't know.
It's fine. You could stop apologizing. Like, I know, but I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm still sorry.
I'm also sorry for saying sorry,
Yeah.
but like, we're looking at the same thing
Yeah.
here. Yeah, I didn't have any time to prep, you
Nope.
know?
Yeah, I didn't bother to shave anything for the 2 Indian dudes that were supposed to be doing the procedure, but they didn't tell me that you were going to be here.
Yeah.
Yeah, or
Had I
would-
known.
Yeah, I would have gone to hair and makeup before it was my time to shine.
Would have went to those barber shops and be like, yeah, give me cut, trim the beard,
Yep.
and my bush.
Yep. Yeah, let me get a Hightown fade.
I'm going to be going in tomorrow for get this kidney stone out.
Hell yeah.
I want to look good for it. Tomboy, how are we doing on time?
Good.
We're about 50. Yeah.
Oh, okay, great. Oh, we got a little bit of time. Excellent.
Yeah, what else you got?
Let's see what else we
And
got
thank you
here.
again, by the way. This is crazy informative
Yeah.
and super, super cool.
No,
Yeah.
I love this. This
Great
is so
sport.
fun.
Yeah.
I know you would be.
Yeah. This is
Yeah,
awesome.
good. Having a good time, not so nervous anymore?
Yeah, for sure.
I told you.
Yeah,
Once
we
you get
just
into
hang out.
talking, you forget that the whole thing's going on here. You just talk and have fun.
Yeah.
I'm enjoying myself for sure.
Good. Is there at any point, I know obviously you did have to like pump to make sure you had backups for the baby, but was there any point where you're like, I got enough backups here where like, can I manipulate the taste of the milk? Or if you're like, if I eat a bunch of spicy stuff or
Or if I eat a bunch of chocolate, are these tits gonna make yoo-hoo? Like,
yeah.
yeah.
I didn't produce enough to like experiment in that way. I definitely tasted the milk because that might have a little bit of alcohol content in it already, and that's why it was like.
So I'm feeling a little
dump.
drunker.
I thought you were gonna
dump.
take the top off and just be like,
Get the last little drips.
get to
Actually,
the
there
last
is a
drop.
tiny little bit in there.
It was my first like pump to dump, so I think I had maybe like 2 beers, but in my mind I was like, this is gonna get her so drunk, so this is for Tony.
Yeah.
But it didn't. To me, it doesn't taste any different. I'm sure if you do it in excess or anything in excess, you might taste something in the milk. But
Interesting.
Mine didn't vary like that. To me, it just always tastes the same.
Did
Yeah.
you get hammered from the 2 beers after not drinking for 9 months?
Not hammered, no. I definitely had. Who made me like a whiskey and iced tea, but it was more whiskey than anything, and I was just like, dude, I can't handle this. But at this point, I've had enough to drink where it's fine.
Yeah, like Nicole, I
Mhm.
remember after she had the baby, she was so excited to have a drink. Like we're all going out to dinner, and she's like, "Oh, I want to have an Aperol spritz, and then I'm gonna have a glass of wine." Halfway through that Aperol spritz, she was like falling out of her chair. I'm like,
Yeah.
dude, you gotta settle down. That's not even real booze.
Yeah, that's just like a little
It's like
a little
mixer.
wash. Yeah.
Yeah.
How crazy were the 9 months? Like,
Um,
walk us through like the stages. I mean, obviously, the first few months aren't so bad, but like once you kind of get further in, is there points where you're like, I don't know, it's be like, I fucking hate everything. I hate everyone.
definitely.
Get this
yes.
baby out of me.
Yeah, get Boo away from me.
Yeah.
Right. That
You did
was
this to me.
Most of the 9
Yeah.
months. No,
This is all your fault.
I had
But
a
thank you.
really good pregnancy comparable to other women that I've heard stories from. I didn't have any morning sickness. It took us almost 5 months to realize we were pregnant. So
Wow.
so yeah, I had like 0 throwing up, 0 sickness, and towards the end though, like it getting hot, we got into summer, and that's when it started to suck. Like you can't bend down.
Sure.
I'm still reducing the water content in my body. So
Sure.
like my wedding rings don't fit me yet. A lot of shoes don't fit. Still getting into certain clothes.
Was he
So-
gentleman enough to like tie your shoes for you?
At some point, yes. In the beginning, he was like, "You're just faking this.
Yeah,
and
tie your
you're
own fucking
alright."
shoes.
And-
Faking it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, look at my belly. It's getting. What are you talking about faking it? You
So
think
when
it's
it wasn't
all this
big enough-
Frosties and shit I've
He's
been
like-
eating? It's just
Yeah.
for fun?
He's like, tie your shoes, fatty.
Yeah.
We got places to be.
Pretty much, I wasn't so big, but to him, I was just like not pregnant at all. It's like, you know what, you're not pregnant.
Because you weren't
Like,
showing
because I
enough to
wasn't,
not
like,
do.
out
Yeah.
To here, it wasn't.
You didn't
like,
have a fucking octuplet in your
Yeah.
fucking belly.
Fuck you, tie your shoes. Tie your
Yeah.
own shoes.
It took a while for him to be like, oh, all right, you're pregnant enough for me to like
What a guy.
believe that you need this much help.
Yeah.
But
Help put
yes,
your socks on, your shoes, what have you.
Eventually, he did help with a lot of stuff. I mean, at some point, you can't get off the couch by yourself.
Right.
So
Mhm.
it got to be like that. And so towards the end with the heat and just like having to wear the same, 3 to 5 maternity outfits that I bought, I was just like sick of all of it. I'm like, I look in the mirror, I'm like, I'm sick of your fucking ass. Like, get out already.
I'm tired of looking at this fucking moo moo.
Yeah. So
Kinda
there
sounds
were
like a dream.
There were points where I was just like, get her out. And then as she got lower and lower, I'm like, is it today, homegirl? Like, let's go. Let's meet each other. Like, come on.
Yeah.
And so I was actually, like, here in Ohio at least, I learned that you can't just get induced because you want to. You can't just get a C-section because you want it. You have to have a medical reason. So
Oh, so you
Luckily-
can't be like, I don't want this to ruin my vagina. Just take it out of my stomach.
there are elective C-sections. That does exist.
Oh.
At least here or in Fairview specifically, it didn't seem like it was like that.
Huh.
So I had asked a few times various doctors about it, and they all were really adamant that like, no, you're gonna try to push, like you're gonna try to do this as naturally as possible.
Yeah.
Only if it's medically necessary will you need this or that.
Mm-hmm.
And so my last ultrasound, the doctor said he saw something he felt was irregular, and he would go through all the scans and call me the next day. So the next day was a Thursday, and he called me. He's like, I want to do another ultrasound. I'm like, well, these shits ain't cheap. So can you just do it on her outside of me? And he was like, yeah, let me call your OB. I'll talk to her about it. And then they called me, my OB's office, and was like, want to get induced tonight or tomorrow morning? And I was like, oh.
This sounds like a hookup text.
Yeah, right.
Yo, girl, you
Yeah,
want to get
yo.
induced tonight?
You about ready? Yeah, you about ready to get induced, girl.
Yeah. And so it was like maybe noon, 1 o'clock. And I was like, well, I feel like a little flustered right now to do it tonight. So, yeah, I guess tomorrow morning it is.
That's
And,
so cool.
Mm-hmm.
Called Boo. He was already sitting with his manager at that point and was like, oh, okay, yeah, I'm not coming in tomorrow or next week. So it's time. Yeah, and then we went in the next morning and that was it. So I liked being able to prepare because like I knew it was happening tomorrow morning. The bag was ready. We did all the stuff. We knew we weren't going to work. And so, yeah, that's how it happened. And,
Super cool.
Interesting.
but they did her ultrasound and she was totally fine, which is also great. But yeah, he had to approve it and tell the OB that it was necessary for that to happen. So that's why my water didn't break. That's why I didn't make it to my due date, which was July 4th. But
That's what I was saying. I was like, I remember her saying, because like Jess and I were just talking about it, and we're like, wait, like I don't remember what the specific date was, but I was like, I remember her saying that they were aiming for July 4th, but it was about a week early, right?
yeah, I was supposed to be due July 4th.
So it's right at the end of June.
Yeah, I didn't want to wait till then, so I was like, yeah. And I got induced on the 28th, but she was born at 12:04 on the 29th.
Oh,
so,
nice.
Nice.
Yeah.
Good timing. So then you'd be like, great, now we can watch the fireworks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. Did you guys actually watch any fireworks?
We did. There were a ton of fireworks on our block, and I had her there. I had her ears, plugged with my hands.
Yeah.
And there were people. It was like the Macy's firework show, like right across the street from our house.
They were all just like, hey, congratulations, you had this
You
baby.
could feel it in your body. That's how close they were. So it was great. Yeah.
Nice.
We were
nice.
aiming for the holiday, but I'm glad she's out. We got to spend more time with her.
Hell yeah.
And how long did Boo not have to go to work for?
He took a week off.
That's
he
awesome.
didn't get paternity leave.
Yeah,
He
most
took-
places don't offer it.
He took his PTO, and it worked out. He
Sure.
told them well in advance. He's been there 10 years, so he was like, "Look, when this baby comes, like I'm taking a week off, and that's it."
Yeah.
And they were like, "All right." Fine.
I mean, the fellas should have some like paternal time too, right?
Yeah.
oh,
But I guess it's
certainly.
not recognized in companies. Really at all?
It's elective if they want to do
Yeah.
it. Like Progressive does.
Yeah.
They'll do I think 8 weeks of maternity leave, 4 weeks of paternity leave. So the dad gets 4, the mom gets 8.
Sure. I mean, that
And
makes
you can
sense.
take them at the same time, or you can split them up so that there's 12 weeks of baby coverage or whatever.
Oh yeah, I get it.
So yeah, I mean,
Some
but
states
They
do
just
it.
leave her by herself for 2 months,
Yeah.
and then I'll just jump into the last month when it's
Yep.
way easier.
exactly.
Yeah, I get it.
Until the baby's like, "Who the fuck are you?"
Yeah. Where the fuck you been for the last 2 months?
I remember when Zach had his first kid. I knew that they had gone to the hospital like late the night before, and I couldn't get a hold of him or his dad. He's my best friend in the world. I've known him forever, and I'm calling and finally I get a hold of his mom by calling their landscaping company. And she's like, yeah, they're at the hospital. She's having the baby right this minute. And I'm like, holy shit. I lived right down the street from Fairview Hospital at that time. So I took the bus. I didn't have a car. I took the bus, and I halfway there, and then I jogged the rest of the way because I want to go meet this baby. They had just had the baby. And Zach's dad walks in, Richard, and he's like, Zach, let's go. And Zach's like, what are you talking about? And he's like, we got a job. They run a landscaping company together. And Zach's like, the baby's 26 minutes old. And his dad, Richard, is like, what the fuck are you going to do? He's like, all the baby does is drink milk, take shits, and take naps. You don't need to be here for any of that. Let's get to fucking
Jesus.
work. I'm like, dude,
That's
holy
archaic
shit.
as
Yeah.
fuck.
And of course, Zach was like, fuck off. I'm not doing it. And I think Richard was mostly joking, but he also was just like, dude, you don't need any time off. Like, she'll take care of the baby. You take care of you do the work. She does the baby shit.
Yeah, but that's also fucked. I mean,
No.
it's that old school mentality, which is bullshit. But
Yeah.
it's like, dude, that's my baby. I want to.
Yeah, I want to hang out with the baby.
Yeah, I
a
want to
little.
hang out. Yeah,
Yeah.
like it's new.
You already had 24 minutes. Let's fucking get in the truck.
Yeah,
right?
come on.
Yeah.
We got
These trees aren't gonna cut themselves down,
Yeah.
dickhole.
lawns to cut
Yeah,
and
exactly.
bushes to trim,
Yeah.
and not in the good way.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Well, I think we're about at
We
time.
are.
Nat, did you have fun?
I had a great time.
Yeah, and thank you
actually.
so much.
Thank you for
again.
coming
Sad
on.
it's over. Well, if there's anything else, I can't produce breast milk, but I'm always down to come back.
All right.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, we've already discussed multiple episodes that we're gonna. There could even be like a possible Battle of the Sexes episode, and I think
Definitely.
I've talked to you also about a few other things that we'll take your opinion on for sure.
Right on.
But other than that, I mean,
Yeah.
it's been a great episode.
Absolutely. And again, thank you so much. This is very eye-opening. I learned a lot.
Oh yeah, I know. Me too. This
Yeah.
is great. Hopefully everybody else did.
Yeah.
Actually, I'm sure they did.
Yeah.
So listen, guys, if you want to text in anything that maybe you have some experience with some breast milk, let us know what you tasted.
Yeah.
Or maybe you have some fun stuff that you do with breast milk. I don't
Let
don't
us
really
know if you're making gelato or whatever.
Yeah, oh yeah, making cheese or
Yeah.
ice cream and shit. Shoot us a text 440-363.
0121.
Send us some pictures of some shit.
Yeah, some tits or whatever.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
Those like brick tits? Is
Yeah.
that what you called them?
Yeah, brick tits.
Dripping.
Yeah,
Brick tits?
Drip,
Make sure
drippy.
they're dripping.
Yeah. Nat says to send us photos of brick tits and make sure that they're dripping the milk out of them.
I'm going to buy drippybricktits.com as soon as we end this episode.
You fucking better.
Yeah.
So 440-363.
0121.
If you're out of the country, you can shoot us an email and also send us those photos at pizzabagelspod@gmail.com.
Damn straight.
I did see that we recently got a few listeners in Japan.
Nice.
Especially we got another one in today, and I was like, this is wild. Like, I'm going
Yeah.
there in September.
Yeah.
Hello, you Japanese
Yeah.
listeners.
What if
I'm
someone
going to be there in
recognizes you?
September. Yeah, I'm going to be there in September. If you're listening to this episode, they just listened to the one that was up on Monday, the
Yeah.
COVID episode.
Yeah.
So if you listen to this one, I'm going to be in Japan in September.
Yeah.
I don't know what's going with that. Yeah,
Jealous.
it's going to be sick.
Hell yeah.
Make sure to subscribe, share, YouTube,
Yeah, smash that like button.
Spotify, Apple. It's at Pizza Bagels Pod on all the social medias.
Correct.
We got TikTok.
Yeah, keep your eye out. We got
Those
clips
dope
coming
ass
up.
clips.
Fucking A.
Yep. And also Instagram. Besides that, I
that's
think
it.
that's pretty much it.
Fun episode.
Just share, subscribe, comment, leave comments,
I can't believe this is
shoot
the-
texts,
I haven't
leave
had,
voicemails.
We had breast milk together.
We had breast milk for
I
the
had-
first time.
And
And-
I haven't had breast milk in 41 and a half years. Fucking
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah.
Happy to help.
Thank you so
Yeah.
much.
Thank you so much for coming on.
Amazing.
Thanks for having me.
Nat, is there anything that you want to say before we sign off?
Just thanks for having me, and
Yeah.
I hope to return soon. This
Yeah.
was awesome.
Awesome.
You guys are great.
Excellent.
Thank you. You're welcome back anytime. So, yeah, if you ever have an idea for an episode, let us know. You're always welcome.
For sure.
Excellent. Okay. Well, bye-bye, guys.
All right, that's it. Bye.
Pizza bagels with Tony and Dave. Oh, pizza bagels. That's the name of this podcast. Pizza bagels.
I was just telling somebody recently that we were going to have this breast milk episode
Uh-huh.
coming up this week, and they're like, that sounds awesome.
Yeah.
And they're like, can you ask Bagel and Natalie? They're like, is it cannibalism if they're drinking the milk out of their own mother? And would the baby be a cannibal? And listen, we were also a little drunk at this point, but
yeah.
what are your thoughts?
I mean,
Is it technically I mean, you're not eating meat like a cannibal as we know as
Right.
is, but it's liquid coming from the mother, which
I don't know the
obviously it
answer.
needs to survive. But could this be a cannibalism sort of act?
I mean, let's just get really disgusting. Does that make a chick that swallows a cannibal?
Great point.
Thank you.
Nat, thoughts?
I don't think it's cannibalism. Breast milk is the only milk we should be drinking because it's from our species to our species. So
Yeah,
Fair
for
enough.
us, for us, by us. if you
Yeah.
will.
Oh, okay. We're just gonna FUBU this milk situation. If only we could have this giant supply to use
Yeah.
breast milk for the cereal.
Yeah.
Honestly, it's not that bad. I would
people
have.
sell breast milk online.
Oh, I'm sure
I'm
they
sure.
do. Yeah.
And I'm sure a lot of it is not for babies.
No,
Mhm.
a lot of people that weightlift will buy a lot
That
of
does
breast
not
milk.
surprise me.
I like people that weight lift.
Yeah, just like
It's like the building block of every protein that your body needs.
Oh, that actually makes a lot
yeah,
of
it's
sense.
the ultimate
yeah.
protein like
Yeah.
drink.
Huh.
Yeah.
it is the best milk for you.
Yeah.
We make it for ourselves. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. It's a good point. Yeah, Dave, I think you really had something going there for the whole FUBU situation.
Yeah. FubuMilk.com.
Yeah, you
Coming
should
up.
probably get that right now too. Also get that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's going to be happening right now.
Don't misspell it.
Yeah.
right.
Yeah. Don't misspell
I'm
it.
gonna get boofumilk.com like an idiot to go with Hawk Tui.
Yeah.
Dumbass.
Okay. That's all I had.
All right, that's good.
All right. Bye bye.
All right, bye.